NFL players get paid mega millions over their careers. So where does it all go? One player spent his first millions on a Rolls Royce. Another player had his entire draft contract paid in Bitcoin. Yikes. We've seen contracts as high as $60 million per year, so money should no longer be an issue, right? Well, not all NFL players spend their millions wisely. Did you know around 78% of NFL players will have severe financial stress within their first 2 years of retirement? Damn, how do so many go from being rich folk to being straight broke? Here are some of the ways NFL players spend their millions. When you get your first paycheck with more money than you've ever seen in your life, what is the first thing that you would buy? For most people, it would be a new car. Some players have the fantasy of showing up in a new Ferrari or a Lamborghini. Well, these players are not afraid to drop paychecks for the privilege. One recent example of this is Bengals wide receiver Jamar Chase. When he received his first $1 million, he spent $300,000 on a new car for himself. Talk about pay to play.
Up to $300K. Nice double R with orange interior seats, fur carpet.
If you think that's wild, Chase didn't stop there. He spent another $65,000 on a Maserati for his mom, and even gave 15 racks to all his brothers and sisters. As bad as it can get to spending money on cars, it's nothing compared to this next item when it goes wrong. As much as some players may want all eyes on them pulling up, some players want to own the place others are pulling up to. Yes, a lot of players like to get involved with businesses to make some money off the field. They have millions of dollars. What could possibly go wrong here? Well, if you're not careful, you can say goodbye to every dime that you put in. That's what happened to Hall of Fame quarterback Dan Marino. Over a decade ago, he put in over 1.5 million shares with a company called Digital Domain. That company was known for holograms, such as deceased rapper Tupac Shakur. They used it at events such as Coachella. Well, Marino didn't get any love from California because the company ended up going bankrupt in 2012. As a result, he was out nearly $14 million. Sometimes it's not better to have all eyes on me. That's the approach a new business group seems to be taking. Quarterback Joe Burrow and other famous athletes are investing around $5 million on US farms. Certainly a contrast from the flashy lifestyles that others desire. Let's see if this one ends up paying off for Burrow. Now this next purchase will shock you. For players that like to live on the edge and dream of getting rich, they may be drawn to cryptocurrency. At one point, there were plenty of reasons to be interested. Bitcoin went from as low as $10,000 per coin in 2020 to nearly $70,000 per coin near the end of 2021. Cryptocurrency can get hot quickly, and many athletes wanted in on it as a result. In the NFL, one of the most notable players with this interest was quarterback Trevor Lawrence. When he got drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars, he decided to do something radical. Lawrence actually asked this entire signing bonus to be converted into cryptocurrency. When he got this signing bonus, it was worth over $22 million. However, something that you have to know about cryptocurrency is that it can be pretty volatile. In just 1 year, the price of Bitcoin went from as high as $70,000 to as low as $15,000 per coin. Lawrence's signing bonus is estimated to be valued at half of the original amount. While cryptocurrency may be a gamble, you're taking a bigger gamble by not liking and subscribing to our channel to see all of the latest content that we got to offer. Cryptocurrency can be super savage and volatile, kinda like this next player's family who almost made him homeless. We talked before about Jamar Chase giving a car to his mom as soon as he got drafted in the NFL. Well, some players take this a step further and try to take care of everyone that they love. One of the most famous cases of this was former running back Trent Richardson. He was the type of guy that wanted all of his family and friends to not have to worry about anything. Unfortunately, they took advantage of his kindness. Richardson bought houses for his family and friends, with him being stuck with all of the bills that came with it. If that wasn't enough, he handed out money to those same people like it was nothing. In the end, he claims he lost over $1.6 million just from money that he handed out to them. This made Richardson have money problems, and as a result, he bounced around other football leagues for a couple of years. You may have seen him north of the border playing for the CFL, or back in Alabama in the AAFL. The only thing that may be worse than having your family and friends take advantage of you may be someone straight up stealing from you. Well, that's exactly what happened to the former star quarterback Vince Young. When Young got his millions, he put a lot of trust into his financial advisor, who was in charge of handling over $26 million that Vince made in the NFL. Unfortunately, not all of this money made it back to Vince. Wait, what? Reports state that the financial advisor misappropriated $5.5 million of that money? In the end, Young had to file for bankruptcy and learned an expensive lesson about who to trust. But hey, at least Vince got back most of it, unlike this next player who was forced to give up half of everything he owned. The way this last player spent his millions actually made sense. We're talking about real estate. Everyone needs a place to live, but some players in the NFL like to go big and to go home. One of the most glaring examples is the homes that Tom Brady's owned. In a previous video, we talked about his home, which costs nearly $20 million on Davis Island. There, you can have security that will take action if a leaf falls out of place. Some may compare it to the VIP treatment referees have given Brady on the football field. Believe it or not, Brady actually used to own a home that cost twice as much. This one was a mansion in Southern California that was valued at around $40 million. However, he eventually ended up selling this property to rapper Dr. Dre. With all this real estate, there's no telling what other records Tom Brady is trying to break. Unfortunately, Tom Brady and his wife Giselle have recently finalized their divorce, which means... yup, I'm shaking my head too. So now number 12 has to rethink his investment strategy. So with all these different ways on how NFL players are spending their millions, what are you most blown away by? Are any of these items things that you could see yourself spending that kind of money on if you had it? We'll give you some time to think about that. In the meantime, check out our next video about the highest paid players in NFL history.